Kato's Farm, and today I'm going to show you the loom knitted Swiffer removable washable Swiffer cleaning pad that I made. I just have the standard Swiffer, and years ago I used to have a blog, and before the YouTube channels and all of that came to be, and I showed how to sew these they're plastic inside the plastic lined Velcro reusable pads, and that was before you could even buy them. Now you can buy reusable ones, but this was like a new concept when I and other people started sewing them. I don't have a video up about these, and I probably should, but it's just I've had like I don't know, I have about 10 of these that I've made about 15 years ago, and they're still going strong. I mean, the Velcro looks good and everything. So, I mean, they're very simple. It's just two rectangles with plastic inside, and I think I used maybe like a baggie or something, like a gallon baggie, because it was a nice strong kind of plastic, and then you just sew the Velcro strips on it. Very simple concept. But I was thinking, you know, it would be really good if I had all this cotton, like cone. I got at a garage sale like 3 or 4 of these cones for like $1. So I was trying to think of what I could use the cotton for that I didn't have already right now and that I needed. So I thought, well, let's experiment making some loom knit Swiffer covers and see how that goes. And so it's important to say this needs to be 100% cotton yarn. If you're using acrylic or any other kind of synthetic, it's not going to work well, and it's just going to push liquids around. But cotton will absorb the water, so that's why you need to have cotton. So that's the first thing. Make sure you have 100% cotton. I know if you've watched the dish towel or dishcloth video, I think I have up, it's cotton. So cotton will absorb things. I'm also using, for a loom, I am using a scarf loom, but I'm only using one side of it, so I'm just using it for the length. And this way, this allows me to do whatever width I want. On this one, I think it did a little bit narrower because I thought that the black and white one that I did was going to be too wide, and it ended up being just right. So this one may be a little bit narrower, but it's okay, because what happens with the cotton is when you wash it and dry it, it will shrink, and then when you put it back on your Swiffer and you start using it, as it absorbs water, it will expand. It will get wider as it soaks things up, and then you peel it off and, you know, do it all over again, wash it. So simple concept. Not going to show you how to loom knit. This is not to teach you how to loom knit. This is assuming you already know how to loom knit. I'm just using the E-wrap stitch, so it's very simple, nothing new to learn. It's just the basic stitch that I assume everybody learns when you're first learning how to loom knit. I know some people dive right in with the fancy stuff, but all I use on every project I have on this channel is the E-wrap. And I've explained that before, that I learned in the 70s, and the woman that taught me then called it the stocking net stitch. It was just sort of a standard braid-like stitch. So E-wrap is the way it got its name, is the way you're wrapping it around, it looks like a lowercase e. So that's how it evolved into that name, I guess. All right, so what I did was I used the scarf. And I have the small pegs. I don't like those big fat pegs. They're great, but for doing really quick scarves. But for this, I used the pegs that are closer together. And this loom was, let's see how long it was. Approximately a 14-inch long loom. It's a 76 peg scarf loom, but I'm not using the 76 pegs. I'm using 20 pegs. I would say you could even go up to 22, maybe 24 peg. I would say make one and see what you think. If you want it wider on your Swiffer, as you can see on this one, it just covers it. So if you wanted an overlap, you could do it a little wider, but I think this is probably a good size. And so when it comes off the loom, it's approximately 5 inches wide. And I knitted for, let me see how long. Approximately 17 inches long. That part of it you could be longer because it's where some of your width about 3.5 inches is on each side is going into the little pocket. It's going into the pocket that you'll sew here. So if you get longer, I mean, you could go all the way up to here. It's just going to be harder to put it on. So and you don't want it to be so small that it comes off, but you want to have enough of it. This one was a little bit difficult to get on because the way the Swiffer's made it has the plastic is like the gripper part of the Velcro. So you sort of have to wrestle with it, getting it on and off. But it's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you do it, you just sort of slide it on there. So, and it doesn't take any Velcro or anything. That's the great thing because you just made these little pockets for it to slide onto. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off the loom and then we will make our pockets. Going to remove it from the loom. I'm not going to cinch it. Okay, to finish this edge, I'm going to go over it using a blanket stitch. And if you don't know how to do that, I have a video on that too. That just sort of gives the edge a little bit more stability, keeps it from unraveling or getting snagged on anything. I just blanket stitched the edge just to give it a little bit more stability there. Alright, on this one, I'm just going to fold it over 3 inches, and then I'm just going to use the thread that I just got done finished, the yarn I just got done finished with. I'm going to do the same thing. You could whip stitch it if you want. I'm going to probably do both just for added, because you know these things will take abuse. So, and obviously this one is not plastic lined like the ones that I sewed were. How I came up with the ones I sewed, I just took one of the ones that are the commercial ones and I sort of dissected it and copied it with fabrics. It had a plastic lining in the original cleaner pad, but not necessary. Obviously, you know, you just need something to clean it. Most of the ones, the reusable ones you buy now, you're not going to find any plastic on it. Maybe just on the Velcro. So I went up the side, and I'm just going back down the side. Okay, finished that pocket. Now on this other end, I'm just going to fold it up another 3 inches. Then I'm just going to sew it again. One tip when you're sewing on loom knitted fabric, you can't just do a knot and have it stop like you're doing normal fabric. So I just put some yarn through there and then tie a knot. Tie the two ends of the thread together, and then I proceed to sew. Okay, and it looks like it has two little pockets here. Here's the black and white one that I did. This one is a little thicker. I had bought this sweater company, I think it was going out of business on eBay years ago, and they had the huge round cotton yarns that they put on machines. And I bought, they were super cheap. In fact, even with the UPS shipping, it was so cheap. It was like 60 cents a big thing. It was crazy. Anyway, I bought a ton of that, but the individual, what do you call it? Yarn threads, whatever they are about like this thin. So I have to use, I had to make a bunch of balls out of it and the skeins. And I have to use, I don't know, 6 or 7 of them at a time. So it does different thicknesses. Okay, so then we get it on there, and we have our pockets on here. The thicker yarn seems to, well, this one was tighter. Maybe it looks like I'm looking to see what I did. I think I sewed it a little tighter, but it's okay. It stays on. It's fine. Then you just slip it on like that, and there you go. You got it, and you can just throw it in the washer. But like I said, make sure it's 100% cotton. Acrylic is not going to absorb. It's not going to pick up dirt. It's just going to push stuff around, and that's gross. There's our Swiffer, our loom knitted Swiffer thing, and that's another good practical loom knitting product that you can make and use every day. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and you know, use your imagination if you want to perfect on it. I tend to do, you know, simple things, and they last a long time. Like I've had these for like 15 years now. So I'm hoping that the loom knit ones will also hold up. I think they're going to be good because the texture on them, I think, will pick up dirt and stuff off, especially off tile floors, flat surfaces, linoleum and stuff. The fleece that I used, it does really good absorbing, but sometimes more solid matter just pushes it around. So I'm really excited to use these and see how they do. Canterbury Trails Farm, thanks for joining us.